Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a bonus reading for the sign of Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Taurus, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page. And I thank you so much in advance. So Taurus, I hope that you're doing well. I just have a little bit of of housekeeping to go over, which is that there was somebody on TikTok that was trying to impersonate me. They stole some of my several of my videos and re-uploaded them as their own, and with a different name and with my picture and everything. So I just wanted you to keep yourself safe. As I say in the beginning of every reading, I do not solicit for private readings, so I never reach out first. I do offer them, and I have a link in my About section for Buy Me a Coffee, and that's my link to all of the services that I offer. That's the only link that I have for that. I have the official links for my Instagram and for my TikTok listed there as well. And that's all I have. So other than those three links and my YouTube page, that's it for me. So if someone contacts you from email that you don't recognize or through any kind of DMs, then please just block them. Just do not even engage, because I want you to keep yourself safe. As you know, all of my readings on YouTube are free, completely free. So you don't have to spend a dime, and nor should you if you don't want to. So I just want to point that out and make sure that you know what we're up against here. It's such bad karma, but and also it's like very, very lazy, because it takes a lot of work for me to create these readings every week and channel the messages, so it just doesn't feel right. But I just wanted to protect my community, and I thank you so much. So I'm going to be using two decks for your reading today. The Elemental Oracle for the overall energy, and super cute deck, the Way of the Panda Tarot. Cards have been pre-shuffled. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Taurus, what messages? Number 27, which reduces to a 9, the Hermit energy of the major arcana. Going within. And the words are life and breath. Life and breath. We've seen this card before. I've pulled it a couple times. I always like to refer to this anatomical heart here. Excuse me. This anatomical heart as it's like a, yes, it's an organ, but it's like an organ in a church. And it makes me think of frequency and resonance and vibration. This sense that your very life force comes from the breath, which is why it's so heavily accentuated in meditation. It's not just about closing your eyes. It's not just about making your mind blank. It's really focusing on the in-breath and the out-breath, which roots you to the present moment. You know, some people I know, when they start to focus a little bit too much on their breath, they get very hyper conscious of it, because breathing is often, unless we're in a state of meditation where we're controlling our breath, breathing is involuntary. And so when you start to make it into a quasi-voluntary experience, it can be very disconcerting to recognize that you're in your human body, and your human body is doing things without you even realizing consciously. And so there might be something to that. What is conscious within us and subconscious or unconscious within us? That could be a topic that you're exploring at this time. Perhaps having to do with memory, or the third eye, opening up that third eye space to connect with spirit and connect to your higher self. What's going on in that connection? And how does it relate to our breath and our intuition in our solar plexus, right? You could be asking a lot of those questions. You could be kind of expending a lot of energy, right? A new exercise routine. You could be jogging. You could be working out in some way, and very conscious of the fact that you're running out of breath, or I'm so out of shape, I'm out of breath, something like that. And you're working on trying to make your lungs and your breath stronger. There's something to this, the posturing of this divine feminine here. It's almost as if there's a state of surrender. There's some surrender happening. I think it has to do with the fact that the Hermit card is alluded to here. The Hermit card, which talks about going through our dark night of the soul, our spiritual awakening, asking the bigger questions. Why am I here? What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of my life? How am I here to serve? What are my actual gifts? Do I have any? What does it all mean? Like big questions like that. So I'm going to get an overall energy. Oh, sorry, not the overall energy. I'm going to get 4 cards for the brace spread. That's weird, because I got the overall energy, but I picked up this deck again, so Spirit wants me to pull another card. That's strange. Okay, this is an adjacent card to the overall energy. What do you want to say, Spirit? Groundedness, gravity, 39, which reduces to an 11, the Justice card. Groundedness, gravity. It's so funny because I saw I don't know if it was like a video of somebody. I don't know if she was famous. It was like she was on some kind of talk show, I don't know, or interview or something. And she was just saying, I mean, because really, who invented gravity? And the host or whatever was looking at her like, as one would. But then she said, well, I don't know if she said it, but it was like, well, Isaac Newton invented gravity. And it's kind of, it caused a little bit of pause in me, because it's like, okay, gravity is this thing that we take for granted, as it predates us. It exists as a phenomenon and as a thing that keeps us attached to the earth and other things attached in orbits and everything. But the discovery of gravity, is it something that you would say somebody invented? Because the idea of invention would suggest that it came out of nothingness, or it was the first to exist. So it was just kind of a strange, people could write her off, but then it's like, could you? I mean, I have my opinions about it, but I don't know why, but Spirit is making me think of that. Who invented gravity? Did Isaac Newton invent it? Did God invent it? Did the divine invent it? Who invented it? This could be one of those kind of spiritual quandaries that you're having. I think it's a legit question for somebody. But the idea of groundedness here, and especially as an earth sign such as yourself, is very important. Very important to root ourselves back in the breath. when we feel like things are getting away from us, slipping away from us, our sense of control, we bring ourselves in groundedness back to the breath. Very important. Recentering, Spirit just said. Recentering yourself. So now, Spirit, I am going to get 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier. Past, present, and future advice from Spirit. One more. Thank you, Spirit. 8 cards on the table. The first 2 cards are going to be your past energy. King of Cups in the reverse. And the Page of Cups in the reverse. How big his head is. So cute. Let's look at the cards in the upright, just because they're so adorable. King of Cups, Page of Cups. This is water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. You may have these in placements in your chart, or you could be dealing with one of those signs. Cups energy talks about feelings and emotions and empathy and compassion and friendship and love and family and all these things. In the tarot, each suit goes from Ace to 10, and then we enter the court cards, Page, Knight, Queen, King. So you have a Page and a King. There's this sense, though, because the cards are in reverse. Spirit just said a little bit of love lost, a little bit of disillusionment. Spirit just said disillusionment. Like we come in with innocence. And this, to me, Page of Cups represents innocence. It can also represent apology. Either you owe someone or someone owes you apology, but it's not happening. King of Cups is Scorpio energy. Talks about somebody who has a lot of emotional maturity. But in the reverse, it's like somebody who is a little passive-aggressive, perhaps. Talking around you. Not talking at all, but in a way that is not productive. You know, King of Cups in the upright is like, just imagine your favorite dad. Like if there's a dad that you know, either your dad or a dad in your life, who's just awesome. He's just the most reliable dad. And he might not say a lot, but you know he's really loving. He's like a really loving person. And he doesn't have to talk about dads or gender. It's just an example. It is divine masculine energy, but we all have divine masculine and divine feminine energy. But it's just somebody who's really solid. Somebody who you know cares about you, who's going to be responsible, the responsible one, who has access to their emotions, but doesn't necessarily need to kind of like broadcast them. But when the card is in reverse, it's kind of like showing me somebody who just, ooh, my third eye is buzzing. That was weird. Does somebody have a dad in spirit that maybe they didn't get along with? Or they didn't understand? Doesn't have to be dad in spirit. Could be just a dad that you don't get along with, that you just don't see eye to eye. They're not really emotionally available. That's this energy. That's for not all. But these 2 cards in reverse talk to me about a situation where someone, could be you, Taurus, is not fully forthcoming with your feelings. You have a lot of them. Lots of feelings. Lots of them. But nobody is doing or saying anything with them. Let's get a clarifier for the past energy. This is in the past. Okay, they're playing that Dave Matthews song, So Much to Say. They say my hell is the closet and I'm stuck inside, can't see the light. And my heaven is a nice house in the sky, got central heating, but I'm all right. Can't see the light. So they brought that song up before. It's so right here, right? It's right in my consciousness. I can hear the horns in that song, which are kind of comical actually, those horns. But it's somebody who is just not speaking their truth, not speaking their authentic truth. 9 of Pentacles, to clarify that, pre-Empress energy, which makes sense because you have the Empress here, which I'll show you in a moment. 9 of Pentacles, I'm fine. I'm just doing things on my own. I'm very independent, self-sufficient. I'm living fabulously, and I don't really need anything else. 5 of Cups. That's 3. That's 3 cups cards. That's a lot of cups. We're like barely into your reading. That's a lot of feelings. 5 of Cups can talk about needing a change of perspective because we're feeling alone. We're feeling, why do I keep wanting to say begrudgingly? Because it's not quite the word that I want to use, but begrudgingly, like I begrudgingly have a relationship with my dad or my divine masculine parent, if that's my mom or somebody. Begrudgingly, which has the word grudge in it. 5 of Cups, needing a change of perspective, but trying to lift out of this energy with the card in reverse. You're not trying to feel sorry for yourself. You're not trying to have pity or be pitied. That's not what you're about in any way. However, you're just trying to do your own thing, and that doesn't really involve expressing yourself and your feelings. Thank you, Spirit. The next card out, we went from the pre-Empress to the Empress in reverse. Number 3 of the major arcana. This is Taurus energy and Libra. So you showed up in your own reading. Very significant when the sign shows up in their own reading through a major arcana card. The Empress is the power of all 4 queens of the tarot. The divine feminine master attractor. Somebody who is absolute peace within themselves, confidence within themselves, and can attract everything to them. Like knows how to do it. Knows how to manifest and just like sits back and just allows it to come to her. She got this card in reverse. You haven't really had the luxury of sitting back and relaxing, even though this picture shows it here, but the 9 of Pentacles, you worked hard for those pentacles. Every single pentacle you worked hard for. So this could be like a sensation that is difficult for you to just receive. It's hard for you to do that. 6 of Cups. Another Cups card. This cute little cat. You may have a cat. 6 of Cups talks about remembrance. So you could be in this state right now where you're thinking back to the past. Maybe thinking back to a time when you didn't have everything that you needed. Trying to remember that you're not in that space anymore. I just heard somebody say, I'm making something of myself. Is it like you had to prove something to somebody in the past? Like deep past? Sounds like you want to show somebody the garden that you've grown. Let me see. Can I have a clarifier, please? Thank you. Knight of Wands in the reverse. Straight off the bat, this Knight of Wands in reverse speaks to me about consistency. You're looking, there might have been a lack of consistency in your life, perhaps by a parental figure, and you are looking for situations that are safe and consistent. It's the thing that holds you back from turning this card in the upright in the present moment. It's the thing, it's the trauma or the trigger that prevents you from embracing the fullness and the oneness of you. Because the Empress is your card. You're going to have another card coming out here soon, but like the Empress represents Taurus very strongly. Knight of Wands in the upright is just flash in the pan. Very passionate, but wholly unreliable. Very passionate though, but it's like, you can have all the passion in the world, but if you don't back it up with actions, then what good is it? Right? Let's just say it's not about a relationship, but it's just about like a hobby. There are a lot of things that I've started and stopped. Cross stitch is one of them that immediately comes to mind. I love cross stitching. I love it. But it takes me years to just sit down and finish. It's because there's a lot of distractions, work, life, people. But it's one of those things where it's like, I have a lot of passion for it, but not enough to be consistent about it, right? But when you bring that on a much higher scale, like a relationship, maybe you have a lot of passion for a person, but you don't have consistency. So you're here today, gone tomorrow, and then maybe in a month you'll call them again, right? Something like that. I'm not saying this is you, I'm saying you're looking for the consistency. You're looking for the thing to rely on because you can be relied on. You're the reliable one. And is it possible to meet another person who is just as reliable as you are? In the future potential, here you are again. The Hierophant, Major Arcana number 5, Taurus energy. The Hierophant is what's known as the Pope of the Tarot. You can see white light on one side, color on the other. The Hierophant is like this liaison between this world and spirit, but in terms of it's much more systematic, right? So like religion, for example, that's why they call this the Pope of the Tarot. It's the human conduit. It's the human person, the connection to the divine. So it doesn't just have to be like a pope. It could be like any religious or spiritual leader. It could be a guru, could be a life coach, something like that. Somebody who has this connection that you might turn to for guidance and support. This card is in reverse in the future potential, clarified by the Three of Pentacles. So Three of Pentacles is co-creation with spirit. So these two cards, you'd think that they would go together like this, but the Hierophant is in reverse, which makes me think of whatever conduit or avenue of connection you had in the past to spirit, it no longer serves you, or you haven't gotten the results that you were hoping for or the answers that you were hoping for. Because remember, we talked about that 27 reducing to a 9, the Virgo energy in the Hermit, the dark night of the soul energy, the going within, the contemplation about life's big questions. When you do that, you kind of retreat away from a Hierophant energy, because organized religion, for some, just doesn't cut it anymore. For others, it's like you get even closer to God or closer to whatever you practice because you went in and you asked those questions and you came out even more connected. But some people don't. Some people go the opposite direction. For the Tauruses that I'm reading for, I feel as though there's that disconnection and wanting to connect in a different way to spirit. So maybe you are doing that through a meditation process, trying to figure out what that avenue, that new avenue is for you. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. It could be a little unsettling. You know, because this is your energy. Pentacles is earth energy. The Queen of Pentacles in the upright is as close to the Empress as you can get, basically. Of all the queens, she's kind of the one that mirrors the Empress, because she's earthy, she's grounded, she's abundant and beautiful and very generous. And when the Queen is in reverse, it's like she's kind of turning all of that back in on herself. So you, in asking those big questions, you might not be sharing it, right, with a lot of people. King of Cups, Page of Cups in reverse. This could be a very insular journey that you're on right now. Well, maybe only one or two people are privy to, if even. If even, maybe a significant partner, and that's it. Asking those bigger questions. They're very scary. Those questions are scary for everyone. I feel my throat chakra really blocked right now. There's just this, there's this little hiccup, not hiccup, but like, there's just something in there that just won't shake. And I've been holding on to my lapis lazuli this entire reading. What's that line? I don't know what the line is, but the sentiment is like, speak your truth even if your voice shakes. It's very powerful. Speak your truth even if your voice shakes. I think there's a very important conversation that needs to happen. And it's better if you do it now rather than later. Because the more you wait to have a crucial conversation, the more the chance your brain gets involved in filtering. You know, we don't want to be cruel, obviously, when we speak to somebody, but there's some truth that you need to speak, and the more you sit with it, it's almost like you're going to talk yourself out of it. Spirit's really bringing that to the forefront of my mind, because your advice is the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Ten of Swords, one of the hardest cards in the deck. Just a leveling. You can see here there's like no more filling left. Deflated. Clarified by the Ten of Cups. Bliss, happiness, joy. What? What does this mean? Spirit is saying that they can see that you're trying to, you're rallying. That's what they're saying. It's like you've been tested, almost to the point of no return, and trying to rally, trying to carve out your slice of happiness in whatever form that takes. You're trying. These are almost opposite energies, but it's 10-10. So you could be seeing a lot of 10s lately. The 10 is a reference to the Wheel of Fortune card, divine timing. Justice, Queen of Swords. Wow. So, okay. Justice card number 11 in the Major Arcana, Libra energy. And the Queen of Swords. A badass bee. Badass bee. The Justice card talks about karmic balance and retribution. It can talk about legal documents, court cases, contracts, and something moving in your favor. But coupled with the Queen of Swords, this is like double Libra energy for me. Double Libra. Has to do with balance. And maybe that's why these two cards came into your reading right from the very start. Breath and gravity. We have to keep our wits about us. The scales of justice will favor you if you can keep your balance, if you can keep your wits about you, if you don't make hasty decisions. The Queen of Swords looks for the truth and nothing but the truth. The thing about the Queen of Swords, though, is that she already knows what the truth is. She just questions you. Do you know what the truth is? I already know what it is, but can you tell me what it is? It's almost like you're very savvy, Taurus, and you want to know the players that you're dealing with. You want to understand what the challenges, obstacles, advantages are going to be, because this is also part of the family of strategy, right? The swords. There's some strategy happening right now. But Spirit is saying to remember to pause, to not make hasty decisions, to keep yourself grounded. There was something about truth this whole time, and speaking authentically. You owe it to yourself to speak authentically, even if your voice shakes. So that's your reading, Taurus. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Taurus.